if you don't go through those things, it shuts you off from learning a lot about yourself and your worth and just who you are. So, and what you're okay with and what you're not. And I don't know. I think it's really, really fucking tough in the moment when you're in a bad relationship or when you're going through a breakup or when you hate how you look. But I think at the end of the day, it's important to go through because it makes you a more aware and a more conscious person. Hello. Today I wanted to talk, okay, let's talk about this for a second. I tried to do a little half up, half down. I mean, what's going on in the back is not really something I need to concern myself with, but maybe you can look at it. I don't know. I tried to do it and I thought it would look cute and fun, but I think it just made my hair look really flat. Anyway, this is the circumstances we're dealing with. When I talked to you about the importance of failed relationships and bad haircuts, first of all, I just wanted to say I'm reading this book right now. I'm really enjoying it. I'm going in it with my little highlighter and highlighting all the parts that I like, and it's my first time reading a physical book in a while because I use my Kindle a lot. But anyway, it's about this couple and kind of like their journey together from meeting to the end. I don't really know where it's going because I just started it and I don't know why I'm talking about it as much as I am, but I did. Anyway, here's the importance of failed relationships and bad haircuts. People always say everything happens for a reason, and that's so annoying because it's like sometimes stuff happens that's really fucking bad and sucks, but it is kind of true. Like, I'll give you an example of this, okay? I was seeing someone over the summer and it was mostly all fun and good, but I knew that there was an expiration date on the relationship because it could only be for the summer, and I also knew that this person made me feel kind of bad about myself and said that I was not pretty enough and kind of made some comments about my appearance that really made it difficult for me to see myself as beautiful and worthy for a while afterwards. And at the time that sucked so much. I literally cried for days and it made me feel so bad about myself and like I wasn't good enough, and it definitely tapped into some insecurities that I have about my appearance that are like deep rooted. Anyway, if that relationship didn't end, I wouldn't be in the relationship that I'm in now, and I wouldn't have gone through the period in between of being single and actually loving it for the first time and finding myself. Healing from that gave me the opportunity to realize what I really want and get in touch with myself and learn to be okay being by myself, because I realized that I had a pattern of constantly dating people and definitely putting my self-worth in what other people thought of me. And when you do that, you just hand over your power. So in situations that have to do with dating or romance or love, in some cases, I think if you marry the first person you date, it shuts you off from having a series of failed relationships. And on one hand, that's nice because then you don't go through it and you found your person early on, and for some people that works and it's wonderful. If I married the first person I dated, well, we would be in trouble. We would be in a bad situation right now. Anyway, I think it's so important to go through these things and because when you're dating, it's not just about finding what you want, it's also about realizing what you don't want. And sometimes you don't know what that is until you've been with enough people or had enough relationship and dating experience to know this works for me, this doesn't work for me. This is something I need in a future person. This is someone where if they start showing signs of this behavior, I gotta run. Like, it's so important to go through the devastating aspects of dating, and it sucks when you're in it. Like, a breakup is really kind of one of the worst pains you can go through. My mom says a breakup is like a death, only you keep running into the person. And it's true, because you have someone that you were so close with and kind of like talking to throughout the day, and when things happen you're like, oh, I can't wait to tell this person. And then when you don't have that anymore, you're like, oh my god, I hate this. And so it really is so painful, and so much of dating is because if you don't end up with the person forever, there's going to be some kind of end, and that's always a little bit difficult. Even in the most amicable situations, a breakup is tough. But I also think going through those things and having relationships where maybe you weren't treated well, I don't want to say I had to go through those things to learn them, because I think in some cases I could have learned the lesson from like reading a book about a character who goes through it or seeing a movie. Like, I don't think I needed to experience some of the stuff I've experienced firsthand, but I will say from every negative experience that I've had with dating, it has led me to realize what's truly important to me and what I'm willing to put up with and what I'm not. And it's also forced me to learn to be okay with myself. And now I know I don't need another person. I can be like the happiest I've ever been while being single. And I know because I've had that happen. Like, I finally experienced being, oh shoot. Okay, so I was taking a little nap earlier and that was my alarm. And it is 7:20 p.m. on a Saturday night. But anyway, I think those things are so important to go through. And also, I got a really fucking ugly haircut a couple of years ago, and I had the craziest glow down, and it was horrible in some ways. And when I look at pictures and videos of myself from that time, I'm like, oh my god, I looked so bad. But if I didn't learn to make peace with not looking how I wanted to look, I wouldn't have built the self-confidence skills that I have now. And if I didn't learn to look at those times with grace and compassion, which I still honestly really struggle with, I wouldn't know what it's like to look back on my past self and be okay with not liking it. Being forced to look a way that you don't want to look for whatever reason is so tough, and something that I struggle with so much. Like, I've struggled so much with appearance related insecurities and trauma, and I've had eating disorders like heavily in my life, and I still struggle with some of that stuff. But I think it's so important to learn to separate your worth from how you look, and that's not something that can happen supernaturally when you're content with how you look, because you can think that you're so confident and so secure in yourself, but then once you lose some aspect, like say you like, my hair was super short and I didn't like it. Once you lose the qualities that you think make you presentable or attractive, it's like, are you still okay? Do you still have that self-confidence? And that's why it's so important, I think, to sometimes go through phases where you don't like how you look and learn to make peace with the fact that your appearance is not your worth. Because at the end of the day, all of us, our bodies are gonna change. Even if you feel fucking amazing about how you look, it's not gonna last forever, because bodies change, and that's just part of life. And we spend so much time and money and resources trying to fight that. And it's so stupid. Like, why are people getting Botox in their 20s? Why are people getting Botox at all? Why do we feel the need to constantly look younger? Why are we constantly fighting something that nature intends to happen, and something that has been an essential part of nature since the beginning of time? Like, you guys, what are we doing? Anyway, I think if you're never forced to separate your worth from your appearance, it's going to be so much harder down the line when your appearance eventually changes. And so even though I glue down and have since glown back up again, I think it was important to go through it. And it also taught me that, like, if the way people treat you changes based on how you look, those are not people that you want to be around. And if people love you through the times when you don't love yourself, those are people that truly love you. And I think it's important to go through these things and have failed relationships and have, you know, times where we think we look so ugly. And I think if you don't go through those things, it shuts you off from learning a lot about yourself and your worth and just who you are. So, and what you're okay with and what you're not. And I don't know, I think it's really, really fucking tough in the moment when you're in a bad relationship, or when you're going through a breakup, or when you hate how you look. But I think at the end of the day, it's important to go through, because it makes you a more aware and a more conscious person. And it also, I think, makes you more empathetic and compassionate towards other people as well, and also to yourself, which is one of the most important things you can do if you want to be a well-adjusted, content person. But anyway, that's all I got for you today. I'm sorry my hair looks the way that it does, but you know, it is what it is. Anyway, I hope this video resonated with you in some way, and I'll see you in the next one.